Hi, I'm Anya, and today I'm going to give you a review of 3 different forms of the conditional in English. So on this side of the board, we can see the real conditionals. So for example, if it rains, you will get wet. This is talking about the future. We use the present tense in the if clause, and then in the result clause, you just use the modal will and your main verb in the base form. That one's pretty easy. It gets a little bit harder when we move on to the unreal conditionals. This is where we are imagining something that's not actually true. So, in reality, I'm not rich. This is about the present tense. But when we use the conditional, we would say, if I were rich, I would buy a house in Italy. So notice that we are using a past tense form, even though we're talking about the present tense. This is simply because we're imagining something that's unreal. Also notice that it's not was, but were. This is the correct grammatical form. It's the same for all of the different pronouns, although I have to say I noticed that American speakers sometimes say was these days, and that's acceptable too. In the result clause, we use the modal would instead of will, followed by the base form of your verb again. Another example could be, I could say, if I were a man, I would make more money. The reality is, I'm not a man, so I don't make more money. Okay, so far I think this has been pretty easy for you. Where it gets a little more challenging is when you want to talk about the past using conditionals. This is something we do commonly when we're expressing regret about something we wish we had done differently in our lives. So I'm going to tell you a little story about regret. When I was 16, I won a contest on the radio, and the prize was an amazing trip for 4 people to Disney World. However, I did not go to Disney World with my family because I had a summer job and I didn't want to miss that job. It was teaching French and I loved it very much. But sometimes I wonder if I should have taken that trip. So, the reality was I didn't go to Disney World. But when I think about it, if I had gone to Disney World, I would have had fun. I would have eaten everything that I wanted. I would have stayed in a fancy hotel that I could not have afforded otherwise. So what do we have here? In the conditional part of the sentence, we have the past perfect, okay, had gone. In the result clause, it looks complicated, but it's not. It's just would plus have. These forms never change, okay? You would never conjugate this verb. Just put would have, and then here is your past participle. So we could also talk about other regrets, like my wallet was stolen from me in Milan. If I hadn't put my bag on the back of my chair, my wallet wouldn't have been stolen. Okay, so I hope that now you can feel more comfortable talking about your regrets in life, and I hope you enjoyed this review of the conditional. See you next time.